Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands isn't the most recent game in the series. It does however have a pretty good reputation, and due to the somewhat negative reception of its successor, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, many may be wondering if this 2017 game is worth a shot. In this video we'll go over all aspects of the title to find out whether it's worth your time and money in 2021. If you have any questions about the game, I will be keeping an eye on the comment section, so just drop them down there, but let's get on with the review. Ghost Recon Wildlands is set in a beautiful depiction of Bolivia. You're there to dismantle the drug cartel, working your way through all aspects of their operation, with the final target being the drug lord El Sueño. I won't say any more to avoid spoilers, but it's an intriguing and well presented story concept that keeps you playing. In terms of gameplay, it's overall very solid. The gunplay is nothing special, but it is strong and fluid, with the ample variety and customization of weapons complementing this nicely. You really can make your weapons your own, with loads of options to change up their performance and visual appearance. Now, having options doesn't just apply to your guns, and this is one of the things that Wildlands does just so well, because as a player, you really feel like you can choose how you want to play the game. There's drones, night vision, even high-tech camo suits all at your disposal, and the abundance of vehicles adds to the freedom too. The gadgets were also a highlight for me. There's everything from C4 to flash grenades, which once again gives you the options and adds to the depth of the general gameplay. Now, I do find the movement to be a bit clunky at times, although it's only really apparent in indoor spaces, which you won't be in too often. Somehow this has sort of carried over to the vehicle handling, because that's also pretty awful. Helicopters are fine, but the cars can be a bit annoying to control. Having said that, I do have to praise the variety of vehicles, as you'll find everything from trucks to supercars, attack helicopters, with a casual plane and tank thrown in there. Another element of Wildlands which really adds to the gameplay experience are the AI teammates. You get 3 AI controlled buddies to help you through missions. They act on your command via a basic set of orders, and they can be pretty useful. You can sync up with them to take out a group of enemies. They carry out their own recon and can even revive you. They're definitely a positive addition to the game, although nothing is perfect. For instance, they have occasionally broken my cover, and I wish they were a bit more intuitive. If you do need some more intuitive teammates though, or maybe less intuitive depending on who your friends are, this game can be played in online co-op, which is a load of fun, at least until your friend realises that there's friendly fire from explosives. There is also a PvP multiplayer mode called Ghost War. It's a pretty standard 4v4 format over relatively small sections of the map. It is a fun mode, however really nothing special, and you've seen it all after a good few games. Now let's take a look at the open world, because the map in this game is pretty amazing. There's a great amount of diversity within the landscapes, with everything from snow-topped mountains to deserts. NPCs also make the map feel bustling and alive, which paired with the highly detailed towns and villages makes for a great atmosphere. The developers of the game actually went on a business trip to Bolivia and brought back thousands of pictures and videos to use for inspiration, and I think it really shows. In terms of size, the map is absolutely massive. Many games with a map of this size would have problems, such as it taking too long to get between missions, although luckily Wildlands has a solution for it. The map is split into provinces, each of which has a major target from the cartel. This keeps the missions grouped in a similar area, meaning they're rarely more than a few kilometers away from each other. Another problem some maps of this size can have is the map feeling barren and empty. Somehow though, the developers have avoided this too. There are small towns dotted all over the place, and the abundance of roads helps too. The only negative point on the map are the graphics. Due to the map's size and also the game's age, don't forget this is a 2017 game, the graphics are really not too great by today's standards, especially with next-gen consoles now out. Speaking of next-gen consoles, if you do intend to play this game on a PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, then you will sadly be getting exactly the same experience as if you're on a PS4 or Xbox One. Now, having said all this, I have heard that on PC at max settings, the visuals are pretty good, so keep that in mind. Now, the missions in these types of games are incredibly important to the experience, and this game's successor, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, is an exact example of how not to do it. Even though this game came out before that though, the developers have really hit the nail on the head. The missions are diverse and bring all the elements of the game together. In one mission, for instance, you'll fail if you get detected, and in the next you'll need all the firepower you have. In one of my favourite missions, you had to steal a truck from a base and replace it with an identical one full of C4, all without being detected, while also under a time limit. Side missions were also a pretty big highlight for me. All the side missions you complete are part of an effort to help the rebel forces, who are also fighting the cartel. In return for completing the missions, you unlock commands, such as being able to call in a group of rebels to fight with you, or requesting a vehicle drop-off. These scale up as you progress, so by endgame you can call in helicopters, request huge amounts of mortar fire, and have large groups of rebels fighting alongside you. The side missions themselves are also pretty good. They range from small base clearing missions to stealing helicopters and planes, which can be a hell of a lot of fun, especially in co-op. The progression has also been handled very well. The way the story is set out through targets leading up to the final boss gives you a good incentive to play, as it's satisfying as you get ever closer to the endgame. The fact that you can upgrade all your gear is also a great way to keep people playing. Your drone, for instance, can be heavily modified to increase its range, battery life, and you can even get it to be able to revive teammates. You can increase the amount of frags you can hold, get better night vision, and increase your stamina. Now, the list just goes on, and I'm once again going to bring this back to options, because you have freedom over what areas you upgrade, and therefore which areas to specialise in. If you love the stealth, upgrade your night vision, and if you like going in guns blazing, equip your drone with a remote explosive. Yes, that is a feature. Overall, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a must for anyone who likes a good old third-person shooter. Don't be scared off by its stealth elements, as this is by no means a hardcore stealth game, although you can make it more like one if you so choose. And that's really a big part of why this game is so good, because you're presented with so many different options and ways to play the game. It doesn't feel wrong to take an LMG and just light up a base, but neither does it feel wrong to meticulously plan out your attack and make full use of the stealth mechanics. Wildlands has a great map, great missions, and great gunplay, all of which are being driven by a compelling story. I wouldn't say that any one thing about this game stands out as being utterly amazing, because really when I think about it, it doesn't. What is amazing though is how all the little elements, mechanics and features this game brings to the table work together to make a very solid package all round. The graphics are the only area where it shows its age, which makes this 2017 game a well worth buy, especially due to its price. In the UK the game is under £20, and in the US you can get it for about $25, which in my opinion is well worth it. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you have enjoyed it or found it useful, then a like or even a sub would be absolutely amazing. I also have a comparison video between Wildlands and Breakpoint, which will be on the screen in a second if you're interested. If you have any questions, then don't forget to leave them down in the comment section. But that's everything, so once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.